Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Oblivion. You may notice that two of our PCs have apparently succumbed. They've been pulled into the Oblivion. There's just
Oh,
these black squares where they used to be. No, they're still alive, and they might be here later. We don't know for sure. But we're going to start with the three of us for now, because we are still, as you saw um, from the title for this, we're picking up the pieces of what happened last time, which was uh, we we have some physical pieces to pick up because our wagon kind of got flipped over. And so if we want to go anywhere, we need to fix that. And also, we encountered some what we thought were soldiers at first on their way to King City looking for work. And they wanted to camp with us. They were acting a little strange when we got to our campsite. And eventually, we discovered that they were actually Yuan Ti in disguise, which was a surprise to us. And uh, we've been we've been given yet another message about this arrival, but we also got a little more information. They mentioned a name, Shothotugg, which was the first time we've ever heard that. And they talked about the Eater of the World.
they hold on.
Who
They
did
didn't
mention it?
mention that. Uh,
Oh, somebody else
Kater,
mentioned that. Kater.
Kater said that in your head.
Oh, that's right. Kater
Yep,
said that in our heads.
yep.
Shothotugg and the Eater of the
They
World.
they only mentioned the Eater of the World.
They mentioned the Eater of the World. Kater heard this name, Shothotugg, and um, so yeah, yet more portents of something coming, something that wants to destroy our world or eat it. So we have a lot to figure out. So we're also picking up the pieces of information and trying to put them together and figure out what's actually going on here. So I think as we're picking up, we're still at our campsite with our broken wagon and some dead Yuan Ti.
All right, hang on. Let me let's move the party back to our fun little campsite.
Yeah, lots of fun.
Yeah, so we're in the immediate aftermath. There are it's a little bit of a mess. There's a wagon that's been flipped over, kind of smashed on top. Y'all see some blades have like fallen out of the crates that were inside. There are several dead Yuan Ti. Um, the invisible stalker thing is like not really there because it was invisible, and you made it look glow, and then you could see it. But then once
Oh
you
yeah.
killed it, it dispersed. But that's where it dispersed. But in the course of its coming around and making a mess of things, some of the trees have been the trees haven't necessarily been knocked over, but smaller shrubs and things have been like laid flat. Twigs and branches and things from the camp have been thrown around, which I hadn't really started a camp yet. So this campsite that looked like had been used before is now scattered everywhere, though. Other things that were in the wagons, like supplies and bedrolls and things, have all been, you know, scattered about. And so you'll have to take some time to like go find your things and put them together because it was a very strong wind that had blown things around. Um, but as kind of everything settles, I did want to roll one thing because I'm curious how this goes. Pretty dang good.
Hmm.
All right. Um,
Good for who?
um, yeah, and so that's yeah, so it's but the as the invisible stalker, the invisible creature, um, is dispersed into the void. And then as you look around, expecting more terrible things to happen. It, kind of a almost eerie silence sort of falls on the campsite. And yeah, and I think from where Saraneth is right now, you saw your wagon driver Amon, who was hiding under the wagon, and the wagon was flipped over. And then he ducked from all that, and then took off running. And the 18 was for him. Saraneth, you see him as he runs off, and he kind of jumps up into a tree and is like dangling there for a second, and then he like pulls himself up into the tree, and he's sort of laying on a couple of branches. I mean, clearly he's looking quite out of sorts. But so he's hiding in a tree as best he may. So that's where we are. And it's still like this was evening, so it's the sun is setting, but that's where we are.
I'll kind of glance up toward the tree where I saw him go up, and it may be wise stay up there until we're sure that nothing else is coming.
Yeah. All right.
We'll let you know when it's safe.
All right. And you can see, as you look up there, you can see he has like a big cut kind of across his forehead down the side. It's it's not like oozing blood, but it's definitely like bloody. He's just didn't seem to really notice it right now because he's just looking around. He looks absolutely petrified.
Yeah.
I mean, he is absolutely petrified. Like, he's like, this is not what he signed up for.
No.
So he is, yeah, that's his expression.
These creatures are an affront to life and peace. We should pull them away from the road so that we don't attract more attention.
Yes, good. Certainly.
I'm going to gather them up over here.
Move all these
The Wanti.
snake people
Yeah.
into a pile.
The Wanti, move them all into that area there. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so David and Kater and I mean, all of you. Yeah, final. All right, I'm gonna get rid of the invisible stalker.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the other one.
Yeah.
There we go.
Right.
Check over the 3 ringleaders. See if anybody has any information on them. Anything.
And I would also guess Kater probably would also be searching the bodies, just knowing Kater.
Yep.
There's a cumulative. So I'll put this in the. So the gold and the silver. There's 41 gold pieces and 2 kind of, they're silver pieces, but they're dingy almost. And then I would guess Kater would probably be most interested in that. One of them has a pair, and I'm putting this in here so when he jumps on, we can remind him. Has a pair of snakeskin dice. Except the pips are like red splotches. So, knowing Kater's penchant for trinkets, he would probably be interested in those. And those do stand out because, one of these had this pair of snakeskin dice. And then one of them actually has a rolled up yeah, or high enough level, even know. Like a scroll and like a scroll tube.
No.
Like you instantly recognize it, like this looks like it's a spell scroll of some kind.
Don't see those often.
Yeah. So
The silver coins that are dingy looking.
Yep.
Do they have markings on them or anything?
No, they just look like silver you've seen in King City. Looks a lot cleaner and a lot, looks like it could pass anywhere. You're not sure if this silver would pass in every place that you've been.
Interesting. Does it look like maybe it's for a ritual?
You're not sure. You think that it, in theory, it could certainly be used in a ritual. It's also that it could just be from somewhere else that has made its way here.
Looking through the gold coins briefly, do any of the gold coins look to be of low quality as well?
They all seem
regular.
Like they could pass. Nobody would take a second glance at them.
I'll grab the silver pieces. Were the two silver pieces together?
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh, speaking of Kater.
Hey.
Oh yeah. There he is.
Hey.
Hello. I'm temporarily.
Well,
just in time to pick up some trinkets.
Yeah, I figured that the pair of snakeskin dice with the pips being red splotches would be something that Kater would be like, ooh, trinket.
Goes in pocket number 47.
And then there was which y'all recognize as some kind of spell scroll in a tube. So you haven't like taken it out yet, but it's like a spell scroll in a tube. Like you've seen, like I would, somewhere along the line, y'all have all seen one of these like around either, probably around Cloud Forth at some point growing up or.
What's a Cloud Forth?
Okay.
Oh,
or around the other place.
Cloud Forth. I know what that is.
Yeah.
I've never been
Sorry.
there.
I lost my
But
lost
I've
my
kinda
way
been
for a
there.
second there.
I feel like I've been there.
You feel like you've been there. Yeah. Sorry. A Cloud Forth or a Larmana. How's that?
Yes.
Is that better?
I'm sure there's spell scrolls in Larmana.
I'm sure there are. Yeah, so they everyone piled the bodies into one area and then searched the bodies. That is all you find on them, though. You don't necessarily, not necessarily. You don't find anything that identifies anything more than. These are clearly Wanti now, especially now that they've died. Their whole bodies kind of revert to true form, which, these look like. Well, I don't know how much you know about Wanti, so, but they're definitely Wanti.
You can be sure that
They are Wanti. Yes. Cool. No worries. What's happening? Okay.
And there's no like markings like any symbols on any of their clothing or armor or tattoos or anything like that?
I mean, they certainly have tattoos. Several of them. None of them really mean anything to you. But otherwise, they don't. Yeah, nothing on there. None of them wear armor. Which seemed why they were relatively easy to hit. But nothing on their clothing or nothing in their, suggest anything.
The world.
Shothotugg. Can I roll a religion on Shothotugg?
Yes.
I'm gonna give myself guidance. Just in case. It's regular. It's not at disadvantage.
Oh, double 17s is pretty good.
Yeah. There.
25.
That is a strong roll.
All right. So, do I know Shothotugg?
You are certain you have never, ever heard of Shothotugg. You are combing the memories and going back through all your years, and that is just not a name that means anything to you. And even when you try to maybe it's a translation of a name I've heard, it just means nothing to you.
An eater of the world, as far as that goes.
So interestingly, I'll actually give you this as part of that role since you made such a good roll, and you're thinking about eater of the world. And you're standing there looking at the corpses of the Yuan-ti. Yeah, Shothotugg means nothing, but when you think of eater of the world, and having heard that, you know that there are, there is a, it's deity is the right word, of the Yuan-ti that has been spoken of, named Dendar, who Dendar is known in their circles like one of the translations of Dendar is eater of the world.
Wonder if these were followers of the night serpent. Night serpent.
Is that also a name for Dendar?
So when Serena says that, it was like, oh, that seems like pretty consistent with, with Dendar.
Yeah. I was thinking of Dendar.
Yes, the one they call the night serpent or eater of the world sometimes.
Yes.
Some of the Yuan-ti cults translate Dendar as eater of the world and believe that she will awaken, most likely from somewhere in the Underdark. Many of my people theorize that that's where she slumbers, and that she will emerge and consume the world and will then seek the sun, consume the sun, and then continue to devour all the worlds in this realm.
And it could be that these are just, that's common deity of the Wanti to worship. But it's another cult. So we just left the cult of Talos.
Actually, make another religion roll. And actually, you can both make this roll. Kater could too, but I mean, I doubt Kater would even desire to.
All right. Well,
All right. Well, there we go.
religion. I don't care for it.
I got a 12.
I think that. Well, hang on. I got lots of notes here.
Spent my 25 on the wrong roll.
No, you didn't. That was a good roll to have. You from what you've heard of Wanti, which granted is limited from where you're from, but you do recall that like the reason Dindar didn't like really jump to the forefront of your mind when you were thinking about Wanti is that it's not generally like their main. I mean, the Wanti are very fickle and they're just evil, but I mean for the most part. But I mean, as a culture, but the Dendar is not generally like the first deity that is associated with them. And you're not really actually sure. Like you're like combing through your brain, like I can't recall like who else they follow, but you're sure that like Dindar is more of, like you said, it's more of like a cult name. It's more of a like a smaller group of them that would follow this quote unquote eater of the world.
It's an apocalypse cult. Like
exactly. So
it's not where most of their culture lies.
Mm-hmm.
Doom cult, death cult. What are we gonna call them? What's the vernacular here?
All those things work. Doom cult, apocalypse cult, yeah. Jim Jones, if you will. I mean, it doesn't matter, Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, that's what you like as you're thinking about. You can't really remember more about the Wanti religion, like especially right now. You think you'd have to
We need to get to a library.
Put in a little more study or even more people that have a little more knowledge of it.
The Dendars, I can't think of who their main deity is that they follow, but Dendar sort of popped into my mind because that deity is more of a cult figure than somebody that would be like primary to their culture. This is another doom cult, like the Talos cult. This is strange to be running into these people so soon after those.
And these Dendar worshippers are misguided anyway. They hold that she is a creature of this world and willfully ignore the fact that she is considered by most who are not in that cult to be one of the elder evils who have been created or brought into being or somehow made to exist before the gods and came from the far realm, not from here at all.
What do we do with this?
And Stav would probably be like, yeah, I remember Keldrin talking about the older evils from like something, like a book or something. I don't know. He was like rambling on about it one time.
Yes, he remembered reading about them in some book that he borrowed from a library. But they are known to be from this far realm, this plane of absolute madness, place that's inhospitable to mortals entirely, and that, inexplicable insanity is the rule of that realm. That's where the elder evils and their powers originate, and it's where things like Illithid and aboleths and beholders came from. They follow, but that place doesn't follow any of the laws that we understand as being how the world works, how life works.
It's incompatible with life.
Except for these aberrations who somehow got here, whether most of them have settled in the Underdark, but are there ways that they were able to get to the Underdark from the Far Realm? Did they arrive long before anything else existed here? And
they could have arrived on the surface and then gone to the Underdark. There's no need for them to have started there.
No. And the Illithid once had the technology to build their ships, their nautiloids that could send them all throughout the multiverse, but no one sees any of those anymore. Seems like they don't make them or don't have a need for them, or for some reason don't use them.
I'd prefer to see the ships from the flying ships that we encountered at Cloudforth before we see any nautiloid ships full of Illithid.
That would be vastly preferable.
That's something that I'd like to never see.
And these aboleths and this whirlpool, this vortex.
What do aboleths have to do with anything other than coming from the same place?
They've been here for a very long time. They're rare, they're very old. They're extremely powerful. But this idea that there's something that they would be afraid of, something awakening that would even make them cower, I can't imagine what that would be.
Why are we worrying about aboleths?
Keldrin remembered something about something coming that would awaken and make even the aboleths afraid.
Was this from his dream?
It was something someone said or he read.
Oh no! I think it's from my dream. You hear in your mind. The whirlpool and the dark voice. I think it was attached to an aboleth. Skeldron described it.
So Dendar is a she,
Mm-hmm.
and Shar is a she.
One is a
Tail-
god, one is an elder evil.
Yeah. Talos is
That's it. Y'all keep talking, but Kater, I know this is humorous, but I'll have you do it anyway. Make a religion roll.
Oh yeah, sure. From earlier,
Yeah, y'all keep talking. Yeah. Just,
just to see.
I guess I gotta have Stabbed roll it too.
Nailed it.
Yep. Just keep talking. Y'all good.
Checks out. Right, and
does Dundar have an association with Talos?
I'm trying to remember some other things about maybe some Dendars and some gods, and I'm just not sure if those things I was wondering about that I may have written in another email, if I know anything about them or not.
Well, that was actually the religion roll you just rolled.
Oh, was that
on.
the one I just
So
made?
yeah, that was.
Oh, I thought I was.
So there was. Yeah, so I'm parsing through the rest of it to see if there was anything else, but
No,
Okay.
would be the answer.
Could I help myself with that one, knowing that that's what I was trying to recall with that one? I thought I was just trying to do like, what's a Dendar?
You might feel inspired.
You mean with like an inspiration type thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you'd like to use your inspiration, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would.
Okay. Yeah.
I would also like to guide myself in the ways of religion.
There you go.
Because I like to guide myself. Be better.
That's better.
Okay.
It says it's quite better.
That's better. Let's see if we can make it even a little bit more better. Okay. That is a little bit more better.
Alright.
Something. I remember something. Let me think for a moment.
Y'all keep talking, of course.
Yes. I'm
Yeah.
thinking and talking at the same time.
No, I only have passing knowledge of the Dundar. This might be something that we can look into the next time we're in a major city, but I don't think that this is the sort of thing that we're going to be able to learn in the villages we're going through.
Most likely not. Although, I am curious about this black mass that blots out the stars.
The new darkness.
Because that seems different than a very large serpent. This formless, shapeless mass.
Yes. It can't be truly shapeless. There must be a way that we can resolve that.
And if that's already out there somewhere, then I doubt these Yuan-Ti would have behaved as they were if their Dendar had already awakened.
If the Dundar had already awakened, then the first thing that would be doing is devouring this planet.
So are there two different entities on their way to devour this planet?
Maybe nobody is devouring this planet, but we have influences of Talos fairly widespread with the storms and the cultists. And Talos running in opposition to Helm and Saloon and Shantia.
Linus, make a religion roll at advantage.
Nice. With guidance.
You're probably gonna make it, I would guess.
Why would you say something like that?
I don't know why. I don't know why you're like that.
See why? I knew.
Like,
Why would you?
That's specifically your fault.
So mean.
You did that. It's like you want us to fail. 9. How about a 9? I can't use my.
Amazing.
Can I use my inspiration on that?
No, because it's already been used, so you can't.
I haven't used my inspiration yet.
That's good. Save it. Okay. So.
Wow.
You're the worst. I can't believe you did that.
I can't either. You feel kind of powerful when you do something like that, though. You really do.
It's just insulting.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So as y'all are talking, Serenith, you recall as you continue to talk that that maybe I don't use the word dominant because that's not even the right word, but we'll just use it for the purpose of this. Like Yuan Ti is Seth, double S Seth is generally like the deity that's associated with most Yuan Ti, if Yuan Ti decide to follow an actual deity. And 18. It's all muddled, and it is really hard to parse like deity history, especially when you're talking about evil deities. But there are always rumors of when they temporarily ally, that Seth does in fact have at some point some kind of at least common connection to Shar. And some of that has to do with the fact that they inhabit the same, well, at some point in their legendary history, they inhabited the same plane of existence as like their, home base. And again, this is all like legends you hear as a young child growing up, and especially where you grew up, where you also heard tales of like Loth and like other like evil deities. So I mean, it is hard to know what is fact, what is fiction, what is legend, what is truth. The thing that, for purposes of what y'all are talking about too, is that when you're talking about Talos, and again, Talos is as you know him, is like a super evil god. Like he just wants to destroy everything. I mean, that's Talos, and he gets joy in destruction. He just wants to see everything burn. I mean, that's just wipe it all out. You can't recall any stories, legends, whatever, like Shar and Talos, or Seth and Talos, or Dendar and Talos, or any of these folks we're talking about have like any connection whatsoever. So and again, it's hard to know. Again, and it's hard to know even if you are the most versed about like what is fact and what is fiction when you're talking about the deities. But as you're contemplating all of those things, and Olinius, even with that role, you do know that you have spent some time like thinking about obviously Talos, and maybe hearing things from Talos. You're not sure, some kind of calling. You're not sure, but like dreams or whatever. So you're sort of well versed in like Talos right now, but you don't feel like that. Like you haven't been able to establish any kind of connection with Talos with any of the things that y'all have talked about, and then leading up to this. Like you're still confused how Talos fits into all this.
Aside from the storms and things.
Right, but even that, like, Talos always brings storms. That's like his. I mean, that's his go-to, right? I'm gonna bring storms, and I'm gonna wreck ships, and if I can bring a hurricane or a tsunami down on a local village, then if I can get away with that kind of thing, So, you know, did the storm that wiped out an entire like coastal town, did that sound a little more extreme than things you've heard about? Maybe. But what does that mean? Nothing, because you rolled a 9.
That's right.
No, I can't.
So there's no strong Talos to Shar connection.
I can't think of any connection between Talos and Dendar in the stories that I can recall. Although Seth, that's it.
Right.
Seth is the deity that
That's
many
the idea of the Yuan-Ti.
many Yuan-Ti worship Seth. Seth is the most prominent among their culture. And Seth and Shar, at least there's legends from long ago of Seth and Shar residing in the same domain, perhaps working together, perhaps at least seeing eye to eye, perhaps having common purpose,
Or just shared
or shared space, at the very least coexisting in relative peace.
And that's something.
Yes. For example, the deity that most of my people worship, Lolth and Shar, are very different kinds of evil. And would not be the kind who would, or at least in any of the stories of my people, would cross paths or have ever crossed paths or shared anything at all. I feel like for evil deities to do that, not often in their nature or best interest of whatever machinations they have.
Depending on the interest, but if they were to align themselves with another evil deity, then they'd be able to really harm us.
And that is
Now,
why
what do we know about Seth and Dendar?
well, at least as far as I understand, Seth is actually seen as a god, and Dendar is not. Dendar is an entity.
Right, but I wonder how, if Seth is opposed to the Dendar escaping its prison, like, how did it get? Because I would assume that Seth, although an evil god, isn't invested in the destruction of this world.
I would imagine not. Although I don't know that many outside of the cult are truly fearful of Dendar awakening to devour the world. It's an esoteric threat.
Yes,
whereas
but
the cultists imagine it as something they are working towards, something they are hoping to bring about, and that it's only a matter of time. I don't know that other beings of great power would take it all that seriously unless confronted with it.
yes, I worry that the dreams that we have, the she is referring to different entities. So seek her might mean find Shar. If you find her, we will all be destroyed. That could reference the Dendar. Um, there's more space in here to interpret what these words mean.
It also makes me very wary, despite your interactions with her, Stavid. Stavid? Well, I assume he's listening. Despite your
Oh,
interactions
yeah.
with her, I am even more hesitant than I already was to believe that Shar has our best interest in mind.
Shar only has Shar's best interest in mind.
Yeah, but she led us to her. And
Yeah,
she brought y'all back.
But I don't think
Well,
for a good reason.
led us to her like a rat in a maze.
well, she's a god. We can't understand everything she does.
That is the difficulty.
Is it safe to come out now?
I believe so, yes. I guess for those of you who didn't see.
Okay. Whoa! Uh-oh.
What just happened?
Well, I think I know what happened.
you heard a familiar voice say, "Is it safe to come out now?" And then they said yes. Then you heard you heard a whoa, and you heard
Oh no.
the sound of someone falling out of a tree.
Yeah, branches snapping somewhere back away from the road. Yeah, I'll go over to help Amon get up off the ground.
And I'll cure wounds him.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, he has a. I mean, he got a big old like cut that he's since kind of wiped, but it's still like an open wound. And it seems like it was from the wagon itself, like some kind of the splinters from the wagon splitting off, but otherwise, he's got some bruises and things like that. But I mean, he looks okay. He'll certainly accept any kind of healing you give him. And he, he walks over and he's obviously y'all been too far away for him to hear what y'all been talking about.
Good.
Yeah. So, but he comes over and he sees the stacked group of like the one T. And he sees that. But then his eyes settle on the wagon, and his eyes get kind of big, and he's like, "Oh boy."
Yes. We do need to repair that.
He comes over to it and he starts to like bend down and you see like sticking out the backside. You couldn't tell from where you were until he points it out. Like you can see like Drondolfer's body is still wrapped up pretty well.
Oh, good.
Yeah, the church did a good job of like wrapping him, so he's still in a pretty good wrap. But now you got like the two
Dangling out a
legs of
little
the
bit.
dangling out of the upside down part of the wagon. But he he obviously sees that, but he doesn't even take notice of it. He's looking at the blades that are kind of scattered on the ground, and he looks at. Yeah, he kind of peels back enough where you can see, and he's looking at like, oh man, and one of the crates is just completely obliterated, and there's just like swords all over the ground. And the other two crates, one of them is repairable. It's not completely like it's gonna break, and then the other one is in good shape. So it seems like the one that was on the ground is the one that took the brunt of the smash.
Mm.
But he's looking at it like, oh man, Master Throtuck's not gonna be happy. And then he looks at the wagon. And he's like, really not happy. Oh.
These things do happen from time to time when you are out in the wild. We shall simply have to repair it and carry on.
Right. But see, we're on a schedule.
Yes, well, we are going to stay here for the night anyway,
Yes.
and so I will spend some time working on it as much as I can. And hopefully I will get enough done that we can finish up quickly in the morning if we need to and be on our way and not lose hardly any time at all.
Do you have like tools and things and that?
No, not exactly. Although I think we can make do with what we have between us. I'm sure we can.
One of you guided sea people have mending, right?
Nope.
I don't have it memorized right now. I'm gonna pray for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Ephesus.
Yes.
It's a basic. It's a basic that you always have prepared. Always.
You're a dumb wizard.
Vindicated. I'll also say I feel like
we'll walk around and start collecting swords to at least put them in one area.
I also feel like mending in 2024 really got kind of nerfed. I don't even think it's that good anymore.
It's not super usable anymore.
No?
It's like for like broken plates or something like that. But
I
past
need to
that,
go
like you're not gonna be able to fix any wagons with it.
Oh.
Which
Unless
I mean, you can mend
broken chain link, 2 halves of broken key, a torn cloak, leaking wineskin. Break or tear no larger than 1 foot.
Yeah, you can mend 1 foot every minute.
Which is probably what it should have always been. Because otherwise
Yeah.
it's like, oh, that's broken. Cool, that building broke in half. Neat. Done.
Think of the hour
do
or
with 5 square
to build
feet.
back together.
It's like, oh, this is the best spell ever. Because
it's a great utility spell.
Yeah.
It used to be.
although when its utility is like, I don't know, I can put this house back together.
Over time, it still took a minute per.
Yeah.
I think it was like 5 feet instead of 1 foot, but yeah.
And I guess
Yeah.
technically you could,
It's a lot.
I mean, you can still do that. It'll just take you way longer.
5 times as long.
Like that chain snapped, cool. Bing. Fixed.
Yep.
Like that.
Right.
That's cool.
Yeah, you cut your binds and then mend them back together again. So that way you don't lose the silk rope.
Like a wagon, yes, should and would take all night mending to fix or however long.
Yep.
If it's just a crack in the wheel, easy. Mend the
Yeah.
crack, done. If the whole wagon
Piece by
got flipped
piece.
and smashed, well,
Take a little longer.
it's a little harder to fix.
You gotta fix the chests.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
Those
no.
we could do on the road while we're traveling. Load the swords in and
Yeah.
take materials and rebuild the chest as we go. The wagon is more pressing.
Yeah.
Stout says, so do we like try to flip the wagon back over? See what the
A great spot to start. I mean,
Yeah,
assuming that the wheels are okay.
As long as the wheels are intact.
they are attached.
Okay.
Perfect.
Good.
They are
they-
attached.
Are they round?
They are round.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean that's what you can tell so far.
All right,
Alright.
yeah,
All right.
It seems like it can't possibly collapse as soon as we flip it back onto its wheels.
perfect. Then that's what we'll do.
Yeah. Let's see what we're working with here.
So we're gonna try to like
Bet if we all got on
Force
one
the
side.
thing.
Let's take everything out of the wagon,
Yes.
Right.
okay, yep. So you pull
and
the
then
blades out, and then the Jondelfers.
Yeah.
Still
groundle for and see if we can lift this thing up, because we don't want to drop it onto its wheels. Like, we don't want to break anything that's not already broken.
We could like use this handy rock that it's right next to
Yeah.
and ease it on over.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then if the wheels are broken, we can prop it onto the rock, and then the wheels aren't touching the ground anymore, so we can work on the wheels. On
There
a
you go.
rock lift.
All right.
You have our plan.
Let's make some strength rolls then.
Ooh, yeah.
We are trying to.
Would you say that this is a feat of athletics?
I would actually not say it.
Son of a bitch.
Brute strength.
I think it's going to be a straight strength roll.
All
I don't
right.
even have expertise.
I bet.
Not for this one.
I bet we're all very strong. Look how
Ooh.
strong we are.
I'm not strong, but I've got great athletics.
This is a straight strength check.
Yeah.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Throw Stabbin in there. This was his
Stop it.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely strong. Stop it, idea. And he's pretty strong.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I feel like he's quite strong.
How do you?
So
there we
we'll
go.
put him in the middle.
I don't know why I rolled twice. Should be the first roll, whatever it is. Oh, okay.
16.
Yeah. Pretty good.
Hmm. Hold on. You know Amon's gonna help. Oh, let's
Billy
go.
wants its wagon back
He
over.
is.
Oh, wow.
stressed. He's got that
I'm
adrenaline going of like, we need to get this done or I'm fired.
Wow.
It's his wagon, man.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you, like, that was the roll that actually saved it right there. Man. All right. Okay, yeah. So you were able to. That's amazing. What a roll. Yeah, you're able to turn the wagon over. And then I guess you would kind of put it up on one side and then push it up over again.
Very gently.
Very gently. And as you get it up on one side, the only thing that you do notice is that one of the wheels is it's slightly bent. I don't know, wood doesn't really bend, but that's not a wheel. It is somehow let's do it that way. The axle is bent a little bit from where it landed on it. So it's the back two wheels are fine. One of the front wheels is fine, but then the other one is bent. So obviously it's
So it's not turning true.
right. It won't be turning true with the other. And then the canvas that was on top covering the wagon is still attached, but it's definitely got some cuts and some rins in it from being tossed about.
That's easy to fix. Those are easy to fix.
It doesn't even matter. Like, we just got to get it there. It's not ours.
Yeah.
So the axle has to get fixed before we can go again.
Yeah. Or we can just replace it, because when we were in Independence, Missouri, we bought 2 wagon tongues and 2 wagon axles and 4 wheels. Because that's what you do. You buy the extra parts.
Yep.
Mhm.
Because none of us are carpenters.
Uh-huh. I was pretty sure I remembered y'all saying you stopped at the local
Yeah.
At the mercantile.
yeah,
Yep. We bought
local advanced auto parts on your way out of King City.
Yeah, we bought 10 boxes of bullets, wagon parts, extra sets of clothes, 1,000 pounds of food. We are ready. All right, so we have to fix an axle. Well, fortunately, we have all these trees. And so we can just make another axle.
Easy peasy.
Mm-hmm. Pull the wheels off, make a new axle, put the new axle in, put the wheels on. That's how a wagon works, right?
Yep.
Is the axle made of wood?
I think the axle would probably be made of metal.
Depends on how nice this wagon is.
It's coming from the hammer and
It
cost.
came from a Ford.
Hammer and anvil.
Yeah.
It
Right.
came from
Right.
the bougiest weaponsmith in the entire town.
True.
I'm thinking it's probably a decent axle in this thing.
So we just got to unbend it. Let's take the wheels off, take it out.
Yeah.
Unbend it.
Bend it.
Somebody's got a hammer, right?
Look, we got lots of weapons.
We got like a spiritual hammer. That should work.
Yeah.
It's got a force damage.
There you go.
Just like direct it to. We'll unbend it.
I can heat it up.
Perfect. This is great.
Yeah, we'll heat it up, bend it back, let it cool.
Heat it up, use a spiritual hammer to unbend it. It's going to become a magic axle.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm on this
Wheel of
wagon's
Time
gonna be
style.
even better than when you got it when you left. You're not gonna get in trouble at all.
So we've got to cool it off fast, or else it'll stay bendy. But not too fast, because that would make it crack.
Mm-hmm.
So we can quench it in the pile of Yuan-Ti bodies.
Quenching it in blood is the best way to your axle, anyway, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
No,
I
not
mean-
a little Yuan-Ti poison blood to the axle.
Even better.
Just don't lick it.
That'll
Yeah.
cool it off fast, but not too fast.
There you go.
If anybody wants to mess with our wagon by licking the axle, well,
Yeah, right.
Joke's on
Here for
them.
a surprise. All right. There you go. We've got our next plan. We're going to heat up. We're going to take off the axle,
oh yeah,
heat it up with magic, spirit hammer it into, to be straight.
Straight.
And then a bunch of Yuan-Ti bodies to cool it off. So, like, what do we roll for that?
actually, we have a fire right here, and we have these like logs next to it. We can just let it sit.
That's true. We
Yeah,
don't even
we
have
don't-
to use magics.
Nope. Just keep this
Other
fire
than-
going, and
Other than, we do need something to hit it with. So I think
Well, we don't need something to hit it with. We just need something to wedge it between so we can unbend it.
okay.
We just have
We're
to
going to
get
do this a
something to
manual way.
straighten it with.
like
So we just need to make a straightening jig.
like these rocks right here.
Yeah.
Perfect.
This is a great plan.
I think
That's what we're doing.
it sounds like we know how to repair a wagon.
We're roasting an axle right now.
Yep.
Step 1, roast axle.
All right. I think it's great. I'm gonna go with it. It's wonderful. Yeah. Okay. So you guys get to work on repairing the axle. Yeah. So I mean, over the course of time, I enjoy the creativity behind it. So we're just gonna roll with it. Yeah. I mean, it takes a little while to heat it up and bend it back. It starts to get dark. Thankfully, y'all had tied the horses off far enough away.
Before it got flipped.
Right. They were not attached to the wagon at all. And they're all like quite panicked. So while y'all were doing this, like Amon goes over to the horses and he seems to have a definite way with horses. So he's talking to them, calming them down, feeding them. They definitely would have bolted if they hadn't been tied down, but the ties were good. So he's working on the horses. Y'all are working on fixing the axle, getting the wheel back on. Yeah, we can jump forward a little bit. As all this going on, I guess at some point, Stav because Stav's not here, so I'll speak for him. It'll be like, so all this stuff we were talking about earlier, like how does that help us here?
That remains to be seen.
I mean, after we deliver these swords, are we fighting gods? In your mind. I don't know if I can do that.
I don't know that the goal is to fight a god.
But to stop something from coming here.
Yeah, to thwart a god. But we can't expect to
Yeah, that sounds safe.
fight them as an equal, because we're not.
Or perhaps thwarting an elder evil. Be even more difficult, thwarting a god.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, we're just gonna bring down the ire of an elder evil.
Whoa.
Whoa!
Well, to answer your question that you just asked, Stavid,
What's up, man?
You hear me?
Hey,
Yeah, you just asked a very poignant question.
you did.
Awesome.
Yeah, good work on that question. Is there a...
Well, you're having a
on the
good time
lobby?
in there.
Yeah.
are you at a wedding reception?
Yeah, I'm not far from the bar.
Okay.
So-
Nice.
Nice.
The best spot I could find.
That's
It's
great.
a great spot.
Yeah.
So we've had a lot of talk about what this all means. I'll try to catch up real quick. So the Yuan-Ti, these are from a cult who worship Dendar, which is apparently some kind of elder evil that's asleep somewhere, maybe in the Underdark. They think it's from this world. Most people think it's an elder evil from the far realm. They think it's going to wake up and eat the world, and then maybe also the sun, and then maybe every other world in the material plane. So that's kind of their thing. Elder evils and aberrations are what come from this far realm. They made their way here somehow. A lot of them live in the Underdark. I don't really know how they got here. They've been here for a long time. Maybe even before anybody else was here. And we still can't figure out how Talos fits in, because he doesn't really work with other gods. He just likes to destroy things. Shar and Seth, who is the main deity of the Yuan-Ti, not this like little splinter cult that worships Dendar the Night Serpent. They have been known to like get along, share a realm, maybe work together, maybe at least be like acquaintances who tolerate each other. Or maybe, you know, have seen eye to eye sometimes on their evil designs and helped each other. So their god might be bad, or is definitely bad. Maybe also is sometimes in cahoots with Shar. So, you know, she's probably not great either, even though she did talk to you and bring us back from the dead. We're not sure what this all means or what we do with it. And
I stuck up for Shar in Stavin's voice the best I could.
yep.
Yeah.
You know, there's still this like shapeless black mass that is coming. There's this Shothotugg. None of us know what that means. There's yeah, so we don't know. Elenius was speculating that maybe all the she's in our dreams are all different. Like, could be Dendar, could be Shar, could be who knows what. We fixed the wagon, or we're in the process of fixing the wagon. They got flipped over, and getting all the swords back in it, and getting Grondolfer's body back in it. We piled up the dead Yuan Ti. I think that's most of it. And so then you were asking us, like, where does this all get? Like, what do we do with all this? Where does this get us? Yeah. How does this help?
Great question.
Oh yeah, and Saraneth recalled that Keldrin recalled something from Kater's dream about water vortexes and aboleths. And aboleths are also an aberration from the far realm, and they're old and they're super powerful, and they live in the Underdark and in the seas, and there's some kind of like possible connection. Far realm stuff, elder evils, aberrations, Dendar.
So all these evils, deities, and what have you want us to stop a greater evil? What? How are we supposed to do that?
We can't stand directly in opposition.
No, certainly not.
If we find her, then she will destroy. If we don't find her, she'll destroy us. And if we find her, then she'll cause our destruction. I think that is it. We can't do nothing. But I don't think that these hers are the same her.
And what does this Elodie have to do with all of this?
Another god told us to go find her.
Is that when it was just? That's the only time I heard that, right?
I think so, yeah, it was from Saloon.
That's the only evidence we have of Elodie ever strong existing.
Well, no, some elf in Cloudforth had evidence of her existing before she left.
A
I think,
Triton.
if I remember right.
There was a Triton that you had a meeting with.
Try. Thank you.
And she had this converted energy that means similar.
Yeah, I think so.
Both are not actually from life force, apparently.
Yeah. The Triton met someone 24 years ago who described herself as glowing the inverse of normal Thessalians and called herself Elodie Everstrong. She disappeared. Said she was from Thrintra
25 years ago.
24 years ago.
But
She-
is
And she couldn't stay. She was already outcast. She was hunted because of her aura. But the Triton had never heard of anybody other than her and then Caldrin and Stavid, who were described that way.
and did we get the impression it's not just because foreigners look like it? There have been other people who complained for it. Or is with that relatively different?
I didn't catch the end of that. Did y'all catch the end of that?
Well, so Caldrin was actually from Thrintra, unbeknownst to him. Like this Elodie was from Thrintra. Is it something unique to Thrintrans?
That was not anything you ever had figured out. Yeah. It was a there's a lot of supposition, but a lot of theories, but y'all didn't have any definitive answers. Yeah, the only link y'all had to the Elodie was through the Triton's story. What was it? Belethian, who said that she knew of an Elodie passing through 24 years ago. Yep, and she had that aura. That's the connection. And then the saloon conversation y'all had told you to seek her and for all. That's it.
Which we're doing. We're here.
Doing right. Yeah,
Which
what you are
looking at.
definitely doing. Yep.
The other thing that doesn't connect is that what was left on Drondalfurs was about the arrival, and what that thing said to us at the other campsite was about the arrival. The Eater of the World, if it's Dendar, that's not an arrival, that's an awakening. Dendar doesn't need to arrive. Dendar's here and slumbering.
It's also not a darkness, is it?
Dendar is not a darkness. Dendar is a serpent, elder evil that will devour the world.
Do you think that there's some confusion between the two there? People think pretends that one or the other.
information, but it seems to me that we may be dealing with two different things. This arrival, this dark mass that blots out the stars that is coming here from somewhere else. And then the Eater of the World who's already here. Unless the mass is also the Eater of the World, and there are two Eaters of the World, Dendar and this other entity, and the Yuan-Ti are mistaking these portents to be referring to Dendar. I know we have many other places to go, many things to seek. There may be some in my city who would know more about the elder evils in the far realm. Although that's not a small detour.
Or a safe one.
Compare motions to the bodies. I don't know that anywhere where he goes is going to be safe.
Perhaps not. Although the way to my city may be even less safe than it usually would be, given what I experienced last time I was in the Underdark.
You guys are gonna make it really hard to go to sleep tonight.
Apologies. We do have swords to deliver before we deal with any of this.
Yes, that's good. Are you gonna like motions over toward the pile of Wanti, like burn those or something?
That is probably best.
Now that we use their blood to fix our axe.
Yeah, stop it. Don't worry about it. Look, we figured out how to repair that axle. It's all fine.
Yeah.
What was the issue there? We needed some grease or something?
Well, the axle was bent,
Yeah.
so we heated it up in the fire. We needed to quench it, so but not too fast. So 1T blood.
We just happen to have all this blood right here. So
Yeah, liters of blood just sitting there, not doing anything.
You're doing blood rituals. You're gonna.
We didn't cast any spells. We didn't.
yeah, there was no
We didn't
magic.
cast any spells
That you know of.
that we know of. It's true.
Yeah, this
We summoned Dendar.
this axle was some kind of like enchanted metal, and we're like, all you have to do is put it in some blood, and magic happens.
Yep.
Oh, whoops.
Oh, good.
Accidental blood magic.
Yep.
Yep, the best kind.
Yeah. Happens more often than you think.
Probably the most exciting kind.
But the good news is the axle is fixed, so our wagon will work.
It's important.
We just have one crate to repair, so we can put the swords back in it, and then everything's good as new.
I mean, the other two crates could use a little repairing, but they're
they're intact.
yeah. One crate is just not in good shape at all. All right, so we finish up our rations and or whatever is going for food and leave the discussion where it is. Unless anybody else has anything to add.
We've been through about everything I know.
Just
Yeah.
go through things I know.
We set some watches.
Yep.
Seems prudent at this point. And the night passes uneasily, but I'm assuming if anyone was injured, maybe Elenius would
Yep.
start healing.
You wanna
Healing
start
word,
fixing us up.
cure wounds,
Nice.
prayer
No.
for healing.
He probably has enough
Around the
spells
fire and kumbaya.
to go around, would be my guess. So we'll spare the die rolling and just, we press the fix button here.
Love that button.
It's a good button.
Slots, yeah. Great.
And you trance/sleep through the night as you would.
Part of the night.
Part of the night. Trance/sleep. /watch part of the night. As you come awake at dawn or whoever is on the last watch, it's not that relevant because we are doing our wake at the morning thing. And as you are you're starting to get the camp straight and like, all right, we've done enough damage here. We should probably be ready to set out. You actually hear some like horses approaching from the road. I mean, this is like first thing, and I mean the sun really hasn't even gotten up yet. It's just over the horizon.
I mean, Kater will find a nice tree to hide behind,
That's what I assumed.
given the last few people we've encountered or situations we've encountered.
Right.
And they're coming from the I guess the north side of the map, if you will.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's an 11. Energy dice are cold tonight.
It's a little too early for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's find like a nice place to duck down in some bushes or something.
And Amon is connecting the horses to the wagon, and he doesn't seem to really take notice. But then he sees Kater kind of disappear into the brush. And he kind of shrugs, I don't know what's going on. But then he sees the rest of you stop what you're doing and sort of turn, and he's looking around kind of a what? It's there. It is.
Yeah.
And then you see first one fella. He's probably a little bit he's older. He's not old, but he's older. On a horse, and he comes kind of in view on his horse, and he's riding not fast. He's riding at a pace, but he's not moving super quickly. And then you see three other people with him. And they all strike you as they look like farmers. I mean, they don't look like soldiers. They don't look like merchants. I mean, they look like farmers. and they ride up. I think the guy in front. He's
Yeah.
my favorite. They ride up.
And I'm just gonna whisper toward Amon real quick. Just stay calm. Keep doing what you're doing.
Okay.
Just so he doesn't freak out. I know he might be a little tense after last night.
Oh yeah. And they ride up and they see like the wagon and the horse, and they see Amon, and they see say Stavid and Olinius. He kind of pulls up the lead rider. And he reaches down, underneath his cloak that he's got on, and he pulls up a hand crossbow, and he's kind of, but his hand's shaking a little bit, but he's and he doesn't say anything for a minute, and then the other three kind of ride up beside him. They stop when they see you, and you see a couple of them like pull out their. Seems like they have like some wooden clubs. They pull out, and they're all looking at you, and the first guy here says, you there, what are y'all about?
We're transporting some goods to
That town.
Yeah, Lyosdale was the event.
Lyosdale, yeah. On our way to have a wagon to get there. What about you?
What was the ruckus last night? And looks past you. And his eyes go big as he looks at. There's still evidence of
A pile of charred corpses.
charred corpses, like big old windstorm came through here, splintered wood, brambles and brush. Yeah, I mean, it's campsite's seen better days. And his eyes go like, what happened here? He goes from like, I mean, he's still he's distrusting, of course, but now it's turned to sort of a wonderment, like, what happened here? And you see the crossbow sort of lower. What? And they're all looking at the campsite, and they're looking at you. What are you inciting?
Surprise.
They seem like it.
Over attacks.
I feel like they're in on the joke.
Attacked. I didn't catch the last thing you just said, but
So they looked like that.
Look like men.
mm-hmm. Well, so and they caused all of this.
Fighting strategy. Yes.
Well, he looks over at Amon. See, you'll be hitching your wagon and heading on down towards Elsfield. And Amon just, yeah, yes, sir. We are soon to make it to Elsfield, and then on to Lysville. Yes. So, all right. Well, then, good day to you, and I hope your travels are safer than this. And one of the others was like, "Oh, that's it." I was like, I don't know what else to. I mean, he said they're leaving.
What are you guys like the campsite police? Get out of here.
Park rangers, what's going on?
Oh,
We're
like,
just gonna be moving along, right?
Roll's like, my farm is just over the way there, so I heard the ruckus last night, but I mean I'm not coming out in the middle of the night to figure out what's causing us. I woke up Petrock and Corin and Luena here, and Luena says, and dragged us out here before dawn to find a bunch of people who are going to be on their way. Well, but yeah, I just I wasn't. I mean, I didn't. All right, yeah, just all right. You have a blessed day. May travel god, forgetting the name, bless your travels. Not Dindar. May travel god.
Did they say Dendar? Because
Travels. We've got some more questions.
yeah.
May Dindar, I mean Dionysus. Bless
Tell us what you know about Dendar. Actually, you know what? Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. And so the other three like kind of turn their horses back and they start to ride back, and he looks at all of you and waves a hand and turns around to catch up with them. Mom says, well, I mean, we weren't. He's hitching the horses to the wagon. It wasn't real quiet in here last night, admittedly. You probably heard this from a mile or two out.
Yeah, who's more responsible?
Who what?
Who was more responsible for the innocuous also?
Probably them. Oh well, the invisible stalker probably created the most noise because it was decimating the land and flipped over the wagon, and so I don't think y'all necessarily like blew anything up.
No, I don't. I don't think we blew anything up.
I don't remember any spells that were cast that would be like nobody
Nope,
fireball.
I did. Yeah, I didn't like thunder spell
There was
anything.
thunder waving, yeah.
Yep.
There was no...
I think we're all. I think we were nice and quiet.
I was like, well, y'all are ready. Let's get on down the road.
I think that's wise.
Before we go, so
Oh man.
there was something very strange that I noticed last night. I'm not sure what it means quite yet, but well, and Sereneth pulls out some notes with like star charts drawn through it and some handwritten notes, and a small crystal engraved with what looks like a star chart. So I was charting the stars as I usually do every night, and there was one that appears to have moved, and I don't know. I don't have any record of this star, and it doesn't look like a normal star. It doesn't shine like a star usually does. And it's in the same area that I looked at with Jabal through his stargazer when we were back on Star Soul Hill in King City. And it's, I mean, not having a name for every single star. We don't have names for every single star. There's too many. It would take more than a lifetime, but they don't typically move from one place to another. And they don't look like that one did. There's something strange going on up there. Sorry, I don't understand more than that yet, but I'm going to keep an eye on it.
The stars look the same.
Well, once you, I mean, they change, but once you orient yourself to where you are, you can figure out where the position of everything should be. And that is not where this one has been before relative to the others. So it doesn't look like the others. It's moving. So I'm not sure that it's actually a star at all.
It's not doing things that stars do.
No.
I didn't catch that one, Drew. I don't know if somebody else did. You got to shout it over. Just shout it real loud, everything you're saying.
What else could it be?
I don't know. But I will keep watching it. Just thought you should all know that something strange is happening up there as well.
But the sun will be out any second now, which means we should be safe from stars, right?
Well, they are still there while the sun is out. We just can't see them.
All right.
But for now, I imagine we're safe from whatever this is until it does something else.
Well, when we get to Timbercross, there'll be a There'll be a nice little inn there, and you can go sit out in the field and stare at the stars all night if you want to.
I will. Well, not all night.
Oh, I'm
Most
gonna,
of the night.
I'm gonna enjoy a night in the bed, I hope. But can't get to Timbercross until we leave
Unless
this
we leave.
camp. Yeah, I don't mean to
Hop,
be rude.
Putting the notebook away.
hop in the
Showing
back of the wagon.
crystal.
Oh, right. Yeah, let's
Ready.
just go ahead and yeah. All right. Well, I mean, yeah, you can keep talking about the stars and stuff. I don't mind.
And I'm gonna also toss in a few like logs from this campsite just in case we need to like have some extra planks for this busted crate.
Yeah, and that's what Katara will be working on while we ride. He'll be trying to do something.
Put the crate
Not
back
necessarily his
together.
forte, but like just so that the swords aren't stabbing him as the cart jostles.
Every time he hits a pothole, sword flies up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so he'll do something to be able to bundle. So using the sticks to be able to bundle. So the sticks are against the blades, not the rope. So that at least they are bundled together and not loose. He'll be working on that as we ride.
If we get there and Katara's like, I'm making death saves. What happened?
There's a pin cushion.
Yeah. Like, I took a D8 every pothole.
Yes, you ride. He had told you before last night, like that was gonna be the last night at a campsite until you got that. You get to Ellsfield, which is like the next big populous you'll reach city. So like the next 3 nights, he tells you there'll be another, roadside inn at some crossroads village, and so sure enough, yeah, you ride today. Again, kind of same smattering of types of people you come across. You see, as it gets to dusk, I mean, it is getting the sun is starting to set. You see a little village on the horizon. There's Timbercross. Thought we could make it today. And yeah, I mean, it's a, again, small little farming community. Definitely not what you would call a town. Just there's a smattering of houses, but they're mostly farmlands that extend close to the woods and the forest. And sort of create this little shelter community. There's another smaller road that sort of bisects where he's heading, and he says it's why I call it Timbercross, because it's halfway for people traveling through the forest, but then they want to stick to the road as we're doing. And we're gonna stay at Naziri's tonight. It's a good establishment. Think you'll like it. And every place y'all stop, it's every inn. He's told you about the name of it, and the hammer and we'll put you up for it and all these things. I mean, it's so yeah, you ride up to it. He pulls the wagon aside. He says, we need to get, as you usually do, get the horses stabled, or at least somewhere where they're safe. Put the wagon aside. So doing all the routine things you do. It's gotten pretty dark by the time you're all settled and done. You go into Naziri's, which is clearly an inn, but there's like a small common room. And he walks right up to, and again, y'all repeated this a few times. He goes up to, there's a dwarf. He sees y'all walk in, and he walks in and kind of shows like the hammer and anvil, and he's like, "Ah, yes, the hammer and anvil, always welcome here." And then he sees y'all walk in, and he's like, "Oh, I'm Jamshid. Welcome to the hammer and anvil. It's doing." And Savant says, "Oh, of course." And he like pulls out like a few gold pieces. Like, yes, warm meal for you after traveling the road. And so he. And again, this is very routine, nothing out of the ordinary. Hadn't really described it before, so I figured I'd describe it. Yeah, but otherwise, it's nice and relaxing. You're able to, and it's not too busy. I mean, you don't think this place will ever get that busy. You'll see a couple people that definitely look like travelers, and then you'll see a couple of look like locals, farmers, whatever, come in, and they'll like have an evening meal, or there to talk to Jamshid about what's going on, small talk, how's the weather, those type of things. Again, nothing you haven't seen as you've been on this road whenever you've stopped at an inn. And then after about, say, it'd be like 9 o'clock ish, whatever time that would equate to. And you're all feeling like, been on the road last night, even though you got rested, it was still, it took a bit out of you, and it wasn't a super restful trance sleep, whatever you call it. So you're like, it's feeling like it's maybe it's time to turn in or do whatever we do before we go to bed and make sure we're on the road tomorrow. But you see, as you're sitting there, like contemplating maybe one more drink or whatever, Keldrin, of course, is in Serenit's head going, "You should maybe just have one more for the road,
Or 4
Yeah.
or 5 or 7.
7, yeah, some number, yeah. You see it, you notice like a halfling woman, and some of you saw her when she walked in, and some of you noticed like after, a couple seconds. She stops and she's looking around, and it doesn't take like any kind of insight check. Like you can tell like she's distraught, like she's in some kind of distress, because she's just looking around sort of frantically. And she seems to look like it every person that's in here, including you. And then she kind of shakes her head, and Jamshid looks up from the counter, and he looks up and he's Mirabella, what it? So a little late for you to be stopping by. What? Why are you here? Well, Jamshid, have you? Has Astra been by? And Jamshid goes, no, your wife hasn't been here all night. Is there? I mean, no, she hasn't been seen. I haven't seen her today at all. Everybody's like, oh, I don't know where she is. And again, it doesn't take any kind of insight for you to notice like she's becoming more distraught. Hey, I've looked. I mean, where else would she have gone? I mean, she was there. She was there this evening or this afternoon when you were working on the farm, of course. And then I came inside and she wasn't there. And I assumed maybe she had gone out to the fields, and I went out to the fields. I couldn't find her, and I was getting on till evening. So I thought maybe she had ducked out for a evening drink, or I don't know. So yeah, as you know, oh goodness, I guess maybe she's just back at the house waiting for me. I don't know. Maybe it's some kind of surprise. Sorry, Jamshid, I didn't mean to. Oh, and then she kind of looks around and looks at you. I apologize, good people. I didn't mean to disturb your dinners. Have a good night. and she turns around and hustles out. And James is like standing there like a cloth in his hand, like, that is quite odd. Huh. And I look over at one of the other regulars in here and be like, yeah, Carrick, you know anything she's talking? Nah, she's probably just overreacting. Like, you know how Astra gets sometimes. She gets a little like things are going not great, and she runs off and gets drunk and find her. I mean, hell, she's probably around back somewhere. She probably got in your drinks when you weren't looking. You know, Jim's like, no, I'm pretty sure I haven't seen her. But yeah, I mean, yes, Astra can be a little flighty sometimes. So maybe, yeah, maybe she just, well, still feel bad for Mirabella, sweet old gal, but yeah, I'll check in on her when I close up tonight. So, anyway, then he goes right back to like scrubbing the counter. And Amon is like just, finishing up his last drink. So, that was rather odd. Don't see that very often.
Have you been here before? Met these people?
Well, I know. Oh well, he probably doesn't remember me, but I've stayed here before with James Hid, but I mean I'm sure I've seen some of these people, but I mean I don't necessarily know them.
But this strikes you as odd for this place?
It is. I mean, not often that like somebody goes missing, right? I mean, and then James is kind of listening, like over here. He's like, "Yeah, it's quite odd for this. It's quiet little part of the town there, or part of the realm there. We don't generally get a lot of mischief. And Mirabella is as straight as it comes. She's a hard worker. I mean, I wish she would visit me more often. Just but she's but Astra can be a little more. As I said, she can be a little off sometimes, but not in any way that's any worse than any other place you'll visit. Sometimes she'll have a few too many drinks. She'll, might pass out here on the floor tonight. Keep her here and send her off in the morning. She's never been gone for more than a few hours. I mean, yeah. Otherwise, we're a very quiet little crossroads here. Why most of us retired here. Well, I retired here, so most of us live here.
What else do you know about this Astra? When she disappears for a couple hours, where does she usually end up?
Just around. I mean, never beyond what we'd say, like beyond Timbercross. Like just, I mean, one time she was found having drank too much and ended up in the barn. Another time in the hayloft. As I said in here. Yeah, one time, as Carrick said, out back. Which accidentally dumped the chamber pot. Didn't realize she was there. That was a rather awkward moment, but these things happen. So I mean, yeah, maybe she has a little bit of a problem with the bottle, but she's still very hardworking, and they have a nice plot of land, and they do well for themselves.
And what is it they do?
No, they farm. They're farmers. We're mostly farmers here.
What kind of farming?
Food, farm stuff.
Ah, yes. The
That didn't make it into my
food farm.
notes. I don't know.
They're onion farmers.
Onion farmers,
Yeah,
clearly.
Yeah, like
Vegetable.
grains, or vegetables, or
Corn, wheat,
okay.
tobacco.
Oh, I didn't realize we'd gone that far south yet. Well, no wonder people are looking at us funny.
You are rather dark skinned.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Kater will say, well, good luck with that. Stand up and stretch and make to go to bed.
I believe I'm going to spend a few hours outside before retiring.
Do you mind if I join you this evening?
Not at all. So, me and Savid are going to go stargazing.
All right.
Romantic.
It is.
How
Spread out a
romantic.
little blanket.
I mean, Dark Stavid will be there to chaperone, obviously, so it'll be fine.
Dark Stav is the one finding the stars.
Man.
Dark Stavid's so powerful, he's the one moving that star. Or not star.
He's the problem.
Mm. He's also the solution, so it's fine.
Just like Shar.
Is Linnaeus doing anything tonight? Out of the ordinary.
Not out of the ordinary. The community that we're in now doesn't have any sort of organized church of life or anything, right?
No.
They seem like Chantia people.
It's a farming community, so I mean, it would make sense.
Yeah. I'll hold a sunset celebration of Chantian growth and harvest.
Like outside or in the inn.
I think outside the inn initially, but then probably leading people into the inn to congregate and
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like I said, there wouldn't be too many people just because it's a spread out, small
Yeah.
community. But certainly people nearby that that are close by would be like, ooh, and they'll
it's an activity.
it's an activity and it's Shantia and it's clearly blessing our farmland and we should allow for that. So
Yeah.
Okay, so you're establishing some revels here for okay. Kater's gone on up to get some rest. Come on, it's done the same, and the two of you are stargazing on the back in the field.
Mm-hmm.
Are y'all just purely charting stars tonight?
I mean, I guess if
I'm
you
also keeping an eye on things, just in general. Wondering if the badness is following us.
The badness?
or if
What is
we
that?
see anybody like drunk stumbling around anywhere.
Yeah, it depends on how good this Chantia blessing is.
Oh, it's gonna be good.
Then you might. Yeah. Um,
Din's gonna be thrilled.
Middle erosion, yeah. All right. Yeah. So you chart some stars. You look around. You bless people. You rest. Um, the revels go on for a couple hours. Star charting goes on for however long you decide to chart stars. You want to make your intelligence roll at some point
Sure.
with your
Mm-hmm.
tools and your map
tools,
and
my
everything else.
crystal and all my good things. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're continuing to what? Check one thing real quick, sorry. I'm gonna assume you're gonna focus on one specific area.
Sure am. What's going on right there?
And I mean, it does seem to have shifted a little bit from where it should be. You're not sure. Maybe Stavid being out here is throwing you off a little bit. Maybe Dark Stavid is throwing you off a little bit. You're not sure, but you can't quite. Maybe there's too much light pollution from the revelries happening in the, you know. But whatever it is, like it's you can tell that like it's off a little bit, but you can't really gain more information tonight than you had already gleaned in the last couple nights.
Linnaeus and his constant partying. But yeah, I'll try to point it out to David. That's the one. See if you follow those this way. I don't think it's quite in the same place again. Here, and I'll hand you the stargazer, Jabble's like telescope.
Yeah, I'll point it in the wrong direction. Yeah, definitely slow you down. Yeah.
The wrong end of
Average
your eye.
intelligence. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, everything should not be smaller. Turn it, yeah.
Make an intelligence roll, David. Better than that?
Yeah.
And you look at where he's pointing, and you definitely see stars, but you don't have much of a frame of a reference for what he's pointing at. Even if he points it out to you, you're like, oh yeah, you're right. That looks like a star.
Yeah, I'll ask like a couple times, trying to actually figure out, and eventually I'll just acquiesce. Oh yeah, I think I see it.
Yeah. You're sure it's a star. Yeah. Yeah. So otherwise, you Shantia revel into the night. You chart stars. When you feel like you've kind of exhausted it for the evening. The revelries finally die down as you're able to the people decide they probably need to go home because they have to get up early to begin their work. Some of them stumble out. Jamshid is quite excited to have, a little more business than he thought this evening. He's also like, you can tell he's not used to having this level of excitement. Even he's a little like, all right, it was a great party. Isn't it time for you guys to head up to, the old the rooms you got there? He's he just says, so yeah, everything dies down, and you head off to your rooms that you have, unless you're not sleeping in a room. I'm assuming everybody took a room. Is anybody sleeping not in a room? Okay, I was making sure anybody's like,
They're all paid for. Might as well.
yeah. I mean, they're comfy enough. Yeah. Yeah. So you go to sleep, or trance, or do whatever it is you do in the middle of the evening, the middle of the night. It's a pretty restful night for you. And when we resume next time, it'll be a new day.
All right. Well, that is it for Oblivion for this week. We will not be back with more Oblivion in 2 weeks because that will be Thanksgiving, and so we will be off that week. So we'll be back in December with more Oblivion. So we will see you for more Oblivion and find out what's happening and how Astra ended up dead next time. So thanks for hanging out with us. Good night, everybody.